So XYTE's really the industry's first true single pane of glass for monitoring and management of all of your AV IT gear, right? High level, that's what we do. Now, how we actually back up that claim as it relates to how do you connect to devices, how can you claim 100%, I think that's what makes us very unique. And then once you set that foundation, what we do with that information really starts to set us apart from everybody else, okay? So I'll start with the first one. How do we connect to all these devices? How do we claim 100% visibility? We combine all the different ways that other platforms typically connect into one. What do I mean? One, manufacturers' clouds, right? You got Crestron XIO, you have LogiSync, you have Neat Pulse, on and on and on. You just simply log into those clouds in our cloud and it sucks in all that data for you and it populates into your system. Number two is we of course write drivers onto like a gateway. So you can deploy a physical gateway or we can give you a software package that runs on Docker. You can load it to a VM or your own server and it's a gateway that gets everything that isn't cloudified, now XYTE cloudified. And the third way is that we work directly with manufacturers. So we actually build partnerships with Sony and Legrand and Bose and Panasonic and on and on and on, so that their equipment has the XYTE communication in the cloud built into the device's firmware. You combine all three of these and you really have the most robust cloud, not just for monitoring, but actually managing, so you're pushing data down. So now I've set my foundation, right? Unique item number one, why us? The second thing now is what you can do with all that data, right? A couple of the big things, and I'm gonna show you this in a second, is getting all the data, right? Once you have everything in one place, running reports on, well, what manufacturers do I have the most of? What types of equipment have more problems than others? What is my, ATEA response time? We track that if ATEA is managing your estate, right? And of course, just general analytics about my rooms and classrooms. The next big thing is going to be really around room-based management. So a lot of platforms typically do device, but you want to know if your classroom's working or not, right? So we're going to tell you, hey, my classroom isn't working. You click the classroom, you dive deeper, and you see what the issue is. And then the third thing is, how do I fix that issue? We've layered AI tools on all of these things. So instead of you or ATEA going through logs and finding out when did somebody load the wrong firmware file, you hit analyze this incident, AI will analyze the last logs and will summarize what happened and how to fix it. These are our big differentiators, all right? Any questions before I go into the demo? It sounds too good to be true, right? I know. So here, let me come over here. All right, so I'm gonna start from the ATEA view. And who here, I know you guys are at NTNU, you guys are at ATEA over there? You're at ATEA, okay. So I'm gonna flip, yeah, if you can. So I'm gonna flip through like what you would see and what you would see, so that I only give one demo, but just listen for it. So what ATEA would see is you guys would have your customer dashboard. And if the internet was any good here, it would load faster. So you would see, NTNU and maybe some other schools, right? So then if there's an issue with NTNU, you can click into NTNU. Now you can both see this. So now I'm looking at all of my rooms. I can see which ones are my VIP spaces, which ones have errors. I can click into it and see, it looks like there's a device offline. I can click into the problem, see where the room is, what the device is, and then as we talked about, there's an AI tool that's going to analyze that problem. So review the device logs, when was it last power cycled, and provide me recommendations. It's obviously way faster than this in real life. This is all an internet thing. Now let's say I want to dive into the physical device itself and not wait for AI. There you go. So now you can see it looks like firmware instability on this specific device. So now you know like where to go to, okay? So this is what the AI summary provided, but let's log specifically into the device. And now here I can actually push commands directly to the device. I can reboot it. I can see what issues are here, or I can even set an automatic workflow. Now this is key for both of you guys. Maybe you're like, hey, this thing keeps happening. Why don't I just set a reboot command for restart every day at 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So now I don't need to push reboot. The system's gonna do it for me. I didn't need to code anything. You did it all in the system itself. This is where like it goes from I had an issue. It pushed to my iPhone because I was notified via Teams chat. I logged into XYTE. I saw it was with NTNU. I went to the room. I saw the problem. AI summarized it for me. I went to the device. I needed to reboot it. Why should I do this manually? Let me automate it. In a matter of like 10 minutes, you've just solved a slew of issues in the future. All right, let's show you the next cool thing. I've been talking a lot about an emphasis on rooms and not devices, because I think it's important. Now, this is what NTNU would see, right? You guys could see all of your systems, all of your devices, regardless of the manufacturer. And you can have a dashboard view, you can customize, like, you know, maybe I want a file repository of all my quick start guides, my firmware files. Maybe I want a map of where my devices are, totally customizable. But if I dive all the way into a specific classroom, when I click into the classroom, this is where I can see all of my detailed information about that specific space. And we summarize it for you in another dashboard. So now I can see my local incidents, current occupancy levels, all the equipment, regardless of manufacturer, in that space. And also some more XYTE AI insights, so it's going to analyze the logs on that room. You know, is Blue Sound speakers having more problems than my Shure microphones? What should I actually reach out to first? So if you see, we make it very uniform regardless of the device. The way that we accomplish that is through the connection of your different devices. So I talked about the multiple methods of connectivity, right? You have the ability to connect in your cloud platforms. So if you guys currently use these cloud platforms today, just you click the cloud platform, you log in, and you never have to go to that platform again. If you're using any of these devices that don't have a cloud, let's say like Crestron, you can just now click into the individual device and claim those individual pieces of equipment. Now this is one by one, but another cool feature we added is bulk claiming of devices. So you can actually just upload a CSV file and it'll auto-populate all your devices all at once as well. So a couple different ways to add them there in mass uploads. One of the last things I wanted to show you guys is analytics. Great for Atea and NTNU. Once we've set the foundation of all the devices in, you're sitting down with your leadership team and you're saying, hey, is Atea doing their job? Which they are, right? Because they reduced their mean time to resolution over the last 30 days by 70%. All while NTNU added 194% more devices, right? It's proving your service contract. It's proving what you guys are getting out of your service responsibilities. But of course, we track device counts by vendors and models, so you know who you use more often. We track which devices have more problems than others, and even which rooms are having more issues than others, so you know where to respond to over long term. And lastly, because we want to layer in AI at every single level, AI from XYTE is also going to analyze all this data for you. And it's going to give you recommendations on trends and anomalies of what to do moving forward based upon the data that we're receiving. And if you ever want to ask it questions, you always have the XYTE AI teammate. It's literally ChatGPT for AV, and you can ask it questions about your entire state at any time. I know that was a little long, but hopefully that gave you guys a good overview of really